Have you ever stopped for a moment and listened to the sound of birds singing in the morning? For many people, it's just background noise, but in reality, it's one of the most beautiful concerts nature has to offer. With more than 11,000 bird species around the world, each one has its own unique voice, rhythm, and melody. Some calls are simple and sharp, while others are so complex and musical that they sound almost like a professional performance. In this list, we're going to explore the top 5 birds with the most beautiful songs in the world, from haunting forest melodies to clear, flute-like whistles that can echo across entire landscapes. Let's dive in and discover nature's greatest singers. When you think about music in nature, birds are probably the first performers that come to mind. There are more than 11,000 species of birds around the world, and every single one of them has its own unique call or song. Some are simple signals used for communication, while others are incredibly complex melodies that echo through forests, lakes, and open fields. In this review, I'm going to share my personal top 5 birds with the most beautiful songs. Of course, beauty in birdsong is subjective, but these species stand out both scientifically and emotionally for their remarkable vocal abilities. Starting off at number 5 is the western meadowlark. This bird is well known across grasslands in North America, and its song feels almost nostalgic. Objectively, the western meadowlark has a clear, flute-like tone with multiple musical phrases, which makes it easy to recognize. Its notes rise and fall smoothly, almost like a short musical composition. Personally, what makes this bird special is how warm and familiar its song feels. For many people who grew up around open fields, hearing this call instantly brings back memories of summer evenings and wide landscapes. At number 4, we have the pied butcherbird. This species is fascinating not only because of its behavior, but also because of its haunting whistles. From an objective perspective, the pied butcherbird produces highly varied phrases and complex tonal shifts, something researchers often highlight when studying bird vocalization. Some recordings even show that individuals improvise their songs. Subjectively, I find its voice almost mysterious. The whistles echo slowly through the air, giving the impression that the bird is performing a quiet solo in the Australian wilderness. Coming in at number 3 is the Asian Koel. This bird is widely distributed across Asia, including many tropical regions. Its call is simple compared to some other birds on this list, but its strength lies in clarity and resonance. Objectively, the Asian Koel produces a loud, ringing Koel call that carries long distances through dense forests. However, opinions about this song can be mixed. From my personal perspective, when you hear it occasionally in the early morning, it sounds beautiful and atmospheric. But if you hear it all day long, it can become a bit repetitive. That contrast makes the species interesting. It's both charming and slightly overwhelming at the same time. Next at number 2 is the hermit thrush, widely regarded by ornithologists as one of the most musically talented birds in North America. Scientifically speaking, the hermit thrush has an extraordinary ability to produce layered harmonic tones. Its song often sounds like multiple notes ringing simultaneously, almost like a natural wind instrument. Personally, I find its call incredibly calming. There's something almost spiritual about hearing a hermit thrush singing deep in a quiet forest. The echoing quality of its song makes the entire environment feel alive. Finally, taking the number 1 spot on this list is the Veery. At first glance, the Veery might look like an ordinary little brown bird, but its song is anything but ordinary. Objectively, the Veery produces a spiraling, layered sequence of notes that creates a swirling acoustic effect. Scientists believe this effect comes from rapid frequency changes in its vocalization. From a personal standpoint, this complexity is exactly what makes the song so captivating. It may not be the loudest or the clearest call on this list, but it feels incredibly rich and intricate, almost like listening to a natural piece of ambient music. In the end, ranking bird songs will always be somewhat subjective. What sounds beautiful to one listener might feel ordinary to another. Still, these 5 species demonstrate just how diverse and expressive bird vocalizations can be. Whether it's the nostalgic melody of the western meadowlark, the haunting whistles of the pied butcherbird, or the complex harmonics of the Veery, Each bird reminds us that nature itself can be one of the greatest composers in the world. And that wraps up our list of the top 5 birds with the most beautiful songs in the world. Of course, bird songs are incredibly subjective. What sounds amazing to one person might be different for someone else. So now I'm curious, which bird do you think has the most beautiful song? And is there a species you think should have been on this list? Let me know in the comments below so we can talk about it together. If you enjoyed this video,